Remember when Canada's embarrassing environment minister actually congratulated Syria for signing on to the Paris Agreement? Now, I want to bring you the whole story about it, but the government is stopping me. Now, how could we forget when Canada's Environment Minister, Catherine McKenna's official Environment Minister Twitter account tweeted this gem here? Canada salutes Nicaragua and Syria for joining on to the Paris Agreement. Global climate action, COP23. It was utterly embarrassing on an international level. It was pretty vile, actually. Catherine McKenna placed a document that amounts to worthless virtue signaling about the environment above the real human rights abuses taking place at the hands of the Syrian government. Civilians are being bombed, gassed, and disappeared by the Syrian government. There have been 500,000 casualties in the Syrian civil war, but hey, as long as they're committing to reducing their CO2 emissions and maybe driving their SUVs a little less, they're good with Catherine McKenna. Now, when called out for this ridiculousness, Catherine McKenna actually blamed her own staff instead of taking responsibility for this crazy anti-humanity tweet herself. She tweeted this from her personal Twitter account. She said, "Clearly a mistake was made from my department Twitter. We've been clear that the murderous Assad regime must end attacks against its people." So we at The Rebel thought we would do what the rest of the mainstream media just won't. And that is actually fact check Catherine McKenna on her story, on her little explanation about the tweet there. We wanted to know who wrote the tweet, when the tweet was drafted, who knew about it, and maybe even find out which one of Catherine McKenna's 24 staff involved in her social media presence actually pulled the trigger on that hot mess. So we filed an access to information request with her environment ministry. We asked the government to provide copies of all the documents, including emails, text or instant messages, media lines, memos, approvals, calendars, etc., for the proposal, drafting, approval, issuing, and deletion of the tweet on Syria signing the Paris Accord on November 7th, 2017. Pretty straightforward, right? Should be an easy request. I mean, it's just one little tweet. Apparently, it's not easy. Not easy at all. Normally, the government has to provide this information to us within a 30-day window. They are asking us for an extension of 150 days beyond the statutory time limit. They say they need 180 days to answer our question about this tweet. Catherine McKenna's office is telling us they need 6 months to find out information about this one ridiculous Syria-praising tweet. It is unbelievable. Sounds like they want me to quit looking, which, you know, is going to just encourage me to keep digging. Do these people know me at all? But this is just another example of how shady and secretive this liberal government is. They cause us international embarrassment, and they won't even allow us to find out how it happened for at least another 6 months. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. It is the Christmas season, a time for friends and family here in the Western world, but Christians are still the most persecuted religious group on the planet. Now, we're doing something to help. We're raising money to help persecuted Christians in northern Iraq. You've helped us raise close to $250,000. If you can help us this Christmas season, go to SaveTheChristians.com.